Section 21 of Up One Pair of Stairs of My Book House. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Ian Burnett. Up One Pair of Stairs of My Book House, edited by Olive Dupré Miller. The Honest Woodman, adapted from La Fontaine. A poor woodman was once cutting down a great tree by the edge of a lake. He was a strong man, and he made the chips fly as he flung his axe over his shoulder and sent it ringing against the wood. Keeping time to each stroke, he sang merrily, "Ring, axe, ring, stout heart, sing. My little ones, they must be fed. My axe and I will earn their bread. Fly, chips, fly, leap up high. My little ones, they must be warm. My axe will house them from the storm. Fall, tree, fall, oak tree tall. Oh, hear my even ringing stroke of my good axe on solid oak." But as he sang, just then, the bright steel head of his axe flew off the handle, went whizzing, whirring through the air, and fell with a mighty splash into the blue waters of the lake. The woodman stood for a moment, too much astonished to move, watching the bubbles and circles that swirled out ever wider from the spot where his blade had sunk from sight. Then he sat himself sadly down by the grassy shore of the lake with the useless wooden handle by his side. "Alas, alas!" he cried. "What shall I do? What shall I do?" For he was too poor to buy another axe, and the lake was too deep for him to hope he could ever find the one he had lost. He thought of his children at home. Their bread, their firewood, the very roof that covered them, all depended on his earning a living with the axe. But as he cried, "Alas, alas!" there suddenly rose before him in the lake a beautiful lady in white, with golden hair and a crown of white and yellow water lilies on her head. "Do not be sad," she cried in a voice that rippled like tiny wavelets. "Here is your axe." The sunlight gleamed from the blade which she reached out toward him, and the woodsman joyously sprang to his feet to take it. But as his hand was almost upon it, he noticed it was not his own steel axe she was holding up, but a very much richer gold one. "Oh, no!" he cried sorrowfully, seating himself again, and dropping his outstretched hand. "That is not my axe. That one is made of gold, and is much finer than mine. Mine was only steel." At that, the lady in white with the crown of lilies disappeared beneath the water, leaving the woodman still more sorrowful for the moment of hope he had had. But in an instant, up rose her golden head again. "Do not be sad," her voice tinkled and rippled as before. "Here is your axe." Once again the woodman sprang joyously to his feet, for the blade she held up this time did indeed look like his own. But just as his hand was almost upon it, he noticed that it was not steel after all, but silver. "Oh, no!" he cried, sinking down as before. "That is not my axe. That one is made of silver, and is much finer than mine. Mine, as I told you, was only steel." The lady disappeared, but when she rose for a third time from the lake, all the joy of laughing water was in her voice. "Honest Woodman," she cried, "here is your own steel axe, and here are the gold and silver ones beside. They are yours all three, because no matter how great was your need, you would not take what was not your own." One by one, she tossed the three blades onto the soft green slope beside him. Then she sank once more and forever gently out of his sight. Joyously the honest woodman took up his own steel axe and the other two, and so rich were the gold and silver ones that with them he knew he could buy all that was needed for his little ones at home. Thereafter, when his good steel blade rang out once more in the forest, he sang more merrily than before. Ring, axe, ring, stout heart, sing. My little ones are richly fed. An honest heart has won their bread. End of section 21. Recording by Ian Burnett.